What's going on, guys? This is Pete, PeteIsip.com, here in the morning. The guys are behind me, trying to walk, take a little bit of a stroll, and I listen to a book. I don't read. I could read, but it's easier when I go for my meditative walks, or my educational walks, I call them, because I don't feel like using my car. I'll plug in a book and I'll listen to it. And the book's called The War of Art. And there was a quote in it that made me just sit back. They talk about being a professional. They talk about being a pro and being and holding yourself to that status. Okay, you got to think about where you're at as if you're a pro. You know, that's professionals do certain things. Professionals will be in this. Professionals will be doing X, Y, and Z. But the biggest takeaway for me is when sometimes you self-doubt yourself. And, you know, if you've been with me long enough, you know I do tons of that self-doubt, and I always have it in my head. I ridicule myself in my head just as much as you do. And you got to think of it that I'd rather be, it says, professionals would rather be in the arena getting beaten by the bulls than being in the crowd, in the stands, or even worse, inside the parking lot. Something of the nature. And you got to think of it that way. I mean, there's professional football teams out there that don't win. They're not winning, you know, but they're still out there. They're playing. They're getting a paycheck. They're making money. They're making their cent, and they're still held as a professional player. And I gotta tell myself, Pete, you're not just a normal amateur player anymore. You're in the pros. You open your own gym. You're responsible for a lot of people's lives. Like you're in the pros now. So even when you have a tough time, or when you do lose, or, you know, as on my statistically you'd call it a loss, you're going to have to take the beating. Because you're still in the pros. You're not an amateur anymore. And if you take your profession and you take your life that way, whereas, like, if you're good at something and you're doing things, and yeah, you're going to mess up. And yeah, it's going to be really bad. Yeah, you might be 0-15 one year, but then next year you might be 2 and whatever else equals 15. 13. You might be 2 and 13. But that's progress, and that's through change, and that's changing your coaches, and changing your plays, and changing your system. So whenever I get down, it was a good reminder to remember that we were playing in the pros, and you got to hold yourself up to that standard. And Jesus, it's at least I'm playing in the game. There's nothing worse than not playing in the game. The worst thing is buying all the stuff, getting your uniform ready, cleaning your shoes, putting your gloves on, and then riding the bench. Because you didn't want to play. Or just getting all that gear and sitting in the stands because you didn't want to go out for the team. You got to think of it in that perspective. Crap, you'll take everything out. Don't be afraid to make the mistake. Don't be afraid to fail. Hold yourself as a professional, because professionals don't allow negativity. They don't allow losses to affect them. They use it as criticism. They use it as a building tool. They'll take it. They'll move on to the next play, the next game, and that's life, because life is going to knock you down. And you just got to get up. I feel like that's so cliche now because of all the most motivational videos out there, but it's the truth. And you can't take that away from someone. All right, guys, hope you enjoy your wonderful day. It is fantastic. And I'll see you guys later. This is Pete, PeteIsip.com. Make sure you guys like, share, comment, and share. Subscribe down below. All right, peace out.